All right, guys, so today I'm going to be working on the kitchen cabinets, hanging the kitchen cabinets. I actually already started on them and then got in trouble for not videoing any of it. So I'm going to show you where I'm at so far and then turn it around so you can watch the rest of it, hopefully. So give me 1 second here. All right, so you see I've already got part of the uppers hung. Actually, most of the uppers hung. So if you notice, there's a piece of wood hanging on the wall, or mounted to the wall, I should say. When you're putting up cabinets, you usually want to start with the uppers so that they don't get in the way, or so that if you put the lowers in first, they're not in the way. So that piece of wood is called a ledger board. That ledger board allows you to make sure that you've got a level line when you're putting in the cabinets, so that it just makes it really simple to make sure that the cabinets are level. Because you mark your level line and attach the ledger board to the wall, and then when you're putting up your cabinets, you just rest the bottom back corner of the cabinet on that board, and you know that you're gonna be straight and level. Obviously, you want to keep making sure that you check with each cabinet just in case, for whatever reason, maybe the ledger board slips or gets slightly off track. I've never had that happen, but I always like to double check anyway. Now, a lot of people will use, most people will use, will do the cabinets with two people. I haven't typically had the convenience of being able to have two people to hang the upper cabinets. So a ledger board comes in really handy there. Because again, it actually acts rather as your assistant, so to speak. So you can rest it up there, and then you can clamp to the side of the next one before you attach it to the wall. Makes it doable to hang the cabinets by yourself if you happen to need to do that. I do recommend using an assistant or another person if you have another person available. Just to make it even that much easier. So these are cabinets that we've not used before, and it's a different brand than what we're used to. So I'm taking a little bit more time on hanging these to make sure that I follow the installation instructions as closely as possible so that they turn out the way that we want them to. So far so good. I'm pretty happy with how they're turning out once we got the broken ones returned and exchanged. Which, by the way, the store was really good about. They happened to have all the boxes in stock, so it didn't really push us back on our timeline. So let's get this thing turned around, and we will go from there. All right, so the uppers are hung now, and the next step will be to take the ledger board off and mark a line that I want to have the top of the base cabinets line up with. So we'll mark our level point. We'll find the highest point in the floor, which the floors are actually pretty level, so actually pretty good, better than a lot that I've seen. So we'll find whatever there's a highest spot though, and mark from that spot and make that our level line for the back of the base cabinets so that they're level. And that way we know that our backsplash will be level. We'll have an even spot between the base when we put our countertop on, between the top of our countertop and the bottom of our uppers. So when we're cutting our backsplash, we put that all in. There's no wonkiness there. So that's the next step. All right, so we've got our corner base cabinet installed already. I'll go ahead and show you that, and then I'll put it on video so we can watch adding in the next ones. But you always want to make sure that you start, if you have a corner in your kitchen, you always want to make sure that you start with your corner. That way you, well, for two reasons. One, that way you know you can line up everything from the corner out and make it sure it's level. The other thing is, if you start from somewhere else, if you start on the ends, then you might not actually be able to get the corner in by the time you get to it. So you never want to end up with that situation. So you always want to start with the corner and then work your way out from there. So here's our corner Lazy Susan cabinet. So you can see that it's got the spinning shelves in the middle there. One of the cool things about this particular cabinet brand is that they actually have adjustable feet on the bottom, as you can see, which makes it really convenient, really easy to be able to get to your level line on the wall, even if your floor isn't completely level. If you've ever installed cabinets before, then you know that trying to shim the bottom of your cabinets is just a pain in the butt, honestly, and it's really tough to get it exactly right. You always kind of end up getting it as close as you can, and then leveling the countertop, shimming the countertop a little bit to get it as close as possible. And you can end up with a good quality level product that way. But these adjustable feet are actually pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to use those, and it makes things, like I said, it makes getting things level a lot simpler. So we'll go ahead and turn it around, and we'll get started with adding in the next cabinets. All right, so I got a little ahead of myself and I installed the wrong cabinet on the wrong side of the base. So if you look, you should see that the base and the the base cabinet and the upper cabinet don't line up. I've installed a 12-inch on the bottom, and it should have been a 15-inch, which I have. And then the 12-inch will go on this side and will line up with this space here. So that's my fault. Fortunately, it's not a huge thing. It's not a huge deal to fix. I just wasn't paying close enough attention. So that's just another thing, right? You got to make sure that you're paying attention and that you've got everything lined up. So that's my fault. I should have marked on the walls exactly what was what and where, and paid a little bit closer attention. So I didn't hurt anything per se. I just cost myself a little bit of time, which I don't really have to spare. But that's one of the things that can happen. So make sure you pay attention. All right, guys. So I'm back today to finish up the cabinets, hopefully this time. I didn't have a whole lot of working time yesterday, so now hopefully I'll get a chance to finish them. Basically where I'm at is I've got all the uppers hung. All the uppers are hung now, and all the base cabinets are set. So we've got our spot there for the stove. Then on the other side over here is where our dishwasher will go, and there will be a panel on the end to make that look like it'll look like a cabinet with the dishwasher set in it. So everything's set now. And now I have sorted out all of my upper doors. So the doors for my upper cabinets. I've gone and sorted them, opened them. I've got all my hinges laid out in each cabinet, and so now I'm going to go through and start hanging the doors for the upper cabinets. All right, so the cabinet doors for the uppers are installed now. So you can see that they each open. Now I'll of course have to install the shelving units. The shelving pieces are all next. This one is pretty neat. It opens up this way. So it's kind of a neat over the sink cabinet, but each of the others opens just as you'd expect, of course. And then this one goes back down. They're all soft close doors, so as you push them to the limit, then they draw themselves in and close slowly, really slowly actually. But there you go. So all the upper doors are on.